How you guys doing?
What's up, everyone?
This is Lemac,
This is Carlos.
and this is Some Young Guys, just trying to solve the world's problems in a podcast.
Welcome back, you guys. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. We are currently recording on New Year's Eve. It is, I think it's like, what, noon right now? Like
11:30.
11:30. Yeah, it's 11:30 a.m. on New Year's Eve, 2023. And we're just trying to, bring you guys some content as far as like what our plans are for the next year for ourselves, as well as for the podcast. Kind of recap what happened this year, and just come out with a good vision. I know the last couple of weeks, because of the holidays, we've been a little inconsistent with the posting schedule. Just staying on the grind. We're not quite doing numbers yet on here to justify taking time off from other things that are putting our lives in a good track. So it's not like we're out just partying on Saturday instead of doing the podcast. We're out grinding, working our day jobs, making sure that the bills are paid, making sure that we're moving up in our careers outside of the podcast, which is kind of the entire point of the podcast, is to, inspire other young guys like ourselves to do the same thing, is build yourself and continue to increase your value so that you can offer more value and then make more money and have greater success in your own lives.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we love doing this. We get together every week and kind of plan a day when to do it. But something we want to integrate more into the future is give you guys higher quality videos, a little bit more expansion besides just being on the podcast, but also expanding over to like Lemac wanting to do car videos and kind of show off little things here and there.
Yep.
Getting more into live action moments where we take you outside of our podcast and put you into perspective of other things that we also want to talk about.
Yeah, take things out of the studio, do interviews, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a college nearby that would probably be pretty good to talk to people at, or even just walking around the bars when people are doing bar crawls and do videos like that, talking to people, getting perspective on issues that we talk about, but not just our perspectives, because I think you guys know what we think already if you've been listening.
Yeah, so like if there's like questions you want to ask or want to know what other people think about, it'd be awesome to kind of read them and kind of ask those around town, see.
Absolutely.
Kind of get an answer of your question that you want to ask the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we should definitely do some like, since we hit so heavily on biblical topics, I think we should definitely get some perspectives on just people's opinions of religion and the Bible, regardless of whether or not they're believers, and just try and see like where people's heads are at, where the general, collective consciousness, if you want to use that term, is at when it comes to religion, because the world is kind of going crazy right now. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, and I think we can bring things back together before we really see some really hard times. But I think things are going to get a little bit worse before they get better. Hoping that I'm wrong, and I'm preparing and making actions for either possibility, whether things are phenomenal and, society bounces back. And I'm also making some preparations just in case that's not true. Got to be prepared for the best and worst case scenarios. At least mentally prepared.
Yeah, and supply prepared for sure.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's so funny. My Amazon cart right now is full of like medical kits and like bean bags, like bags of beans, and like like supersized ones. And I'm like, what? I can just
survival food.
Yeah, it's so great. Like buckets, like 30-day, 30-month, 3 to 4 month supply of food.
Mm-hmm.
The water filters.
Yep, I have some of those.
What else? I think next I'm looking into like ammunition and all that stuff. But it's all my feed on my TikTok and Instagram is all about like preppers and like advice and like what to do, what not to do. And I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I see the news and all this other stuff is going down. Like I know I got a little bit out of hand, but out of topic, whatever we're talking about. But I don't know. Like, is that what you're trying to say too? That
yeah, no, absolutely. I've got a 50-pound bag of rice and a whole bunch of ramen. I've got some tuna, some like chili, cans of chili.
Oh, nice.
Water filtration. I think the next things I want to get are those like 30-day bucket food buckets. MREs, as well as I'd like to get some plates because I have a plate carrier vest, and I'd like to get some plates just in case, possibly even a ballistics helmet. But yeah, so there's that. I want
someone on Facebook Market.
Yeah,
for like $50.
I don't know if I'm gonna trust Facebook Marketplace, but bulletproof equipment to avoid dying if you do get shot. I'd rather go through a trusted source rather than some Facebook Marketplace ad.
For sure.
That's just me. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to spend the money on that. Definitely want to buy a little bit more ammo. I've got a decent amount, but not as much as I'd like to have. And then, yeah, beyond that, like ammo, food, the ability to procure food, some equipment if you need to go out in the woods and survive for a little bit, an axe, a saw, a shovel, those kinds of things, some rope. That kind of stuff is something you should definitely keep with you. I have, a bug out bag in my car that's got an axe. It's got a paracord and a few things like that. A survivalist booklet that like is in a plastic bag just in case the book or the bag gets wet. Then the book is still dry. Some space blankets, Mylar blankets, those silver ones. Those are super cheap. You can get a whole like 100 pack for, I don't know, $30, something like that. Mm-hmm. They're really cheap. So that's kind of how I'm talking about in terms of being prepared for the worst case scenarios, as well as, getting some money together, have some cash, maybe invest in some gold or silver just in case, because the election's coming up, and during elections things get hectic. And then also we've got a whole lot of geopolitical instability outside of the US. And so you just want to be prepared just in case so that you can get out of Dodge and be able to survive if you need to. But in addition to that, you don't want to be paranoid. You don't want to just, build a bunker and live in it for 20 years because you thought things were going to happen. Then you come out and nothing happened. There is a prepper that did that. I think it was the 2000 .com boom. So in 2000, everyone thought that the world was going to end because the computers would come online, the internet would come online, and the world would end. And that like nukes would go flying and whatnot. And there were a few preppers that really thought that was serious. And there's this one story I heard of that this guy thought it was legit going to happen. He went in his bunker and was in there for like 20 years and then came out and like nothing ever happened. And he was like, wow, I was wrong.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think he came out in 2020, which is terrible. Terrible time to come out. Yeah. Terrible time to come out of the bunkers. Like, just go back, bro. Just go back. But anyways, you guys could probably look up that story and see more details about it. I just remember hearing about
20 years?
I think he was in his bunker for 20 years, yeah.
Oh, he must have came out during COVID.
Yeah, it would have been, that's a terrible time to come out.
Imagine, like, where the fuck is everyone at?
Right. But yeah. So there's that. I want to increase my survival ability just in case a little bit. I've got some stuff if I need it, but definitely want to get a little bit more. As far as like preparing for just life if things don't go that way, working on getting some certifications so that I can be an inspector, increase my value in the construction industry so that I can make more money there, start really building a career that is going to take me places, and really just using the skills that I have to advance forward. Really looking forward to that. I want to do a little bit more on the stock market. I want to get into options trading and trading stocks so that I can make more money sooner. That's really what it is.
Dude, same.
This whole next year is going to be, please world, stay together so I can make more money sooner. And then,
hopefully the house market crashes.
Buy a house in the woods. And then I won't have to worry about whether or not society falls apart because I already have a house in the woods.
That's my goal.
That's really what I'm trying to do. Get some land.
Hell away from this place.
Yeah, get out of the city because the city is just not where it's at, man.
The only thing I'm looking forward to is like if there's like a zombie apocalypse. I know I'm not being realistic right now, but I'm just.
What kind of zombies? You thinking like World War Z zombies or
no.
Walking Dead zombies?
I'm gonna say Walking Dead, or like at least be a little bit more realistic. The Last of Us. I feel like that can happen.
Okay.
Some type of bacteria.
Okay.
But I'm just joking right now. But like,
are you?
No,
you're not.
No,
okay.
I am. Not to be taken serious, but like worst case scenario, like you would want to be useful. Like you don't want to be this person that has like no skills, or like that's why we like kind of integrate a lot of like find a hobby that's not just for fun, but also gives you life skills, like, you know, hunting, I don't know, hiking, you know, like camping, how to start a fire, like, you know, stuff like that. Cause like you'd be surprised how many people don't know
how to do anything,
or don't even know how to change a tire, which is really sad. Don't even know how to change an alternator, which is probably like the easiest thing possible. I believe so.
Yeah, alternators are pretty easy. I was thinking of my starter when I had to change my starter one time, and that was a pain in the ass because I was remembering when I had to change my starter in reference to that. And I was like, alternators are not that. No, wait, that was a different thing. Anyway, alternators are pretty easy.
But you know, the point I'm trying to get across is like make yourself useful and resourceful. Like, you know, you want to be like, let's say the world is get to the point where we have to like survive on skills and you know, things you can offer. Like it's like someone like. There's a bigger group and they're like,
oh, we need someone that knows how to do this thing.
Well, it's like, okay, where's all your equipment? Where's all your stuff? Like, we're going to take over it because we need it. And we're like, whoa, hold on. Like, let's work something out. Like, maybe I'm useful to you. Like, okay, what are you? Like, oh, I'm a medic. Oh, shit. Maybe this guy will help us if you get shot, stabbed or something. He can stitch us up or something.
Absolutely. A medic is definitely necessary.
So definitely, like, that's a really great skill to have. You know, learn some basic medical skills. Also,
learning another language is another huge thing. I'm trying to work on my Spanish. He already knows Spanish. Our buddy Adam that was here last time, he's working on his Spanish, but he's also a medic. So, like, as far as, like, my friend group, I'm not really that worried about having people of various skill sets that know what they're doing in a lot of areas. I'm bringing the guns and ammo to the equation.
No, I mean, you're a welder.
I'm a welder. Yes, I can build. I can build things. I also have guns and ammo, so I'm bringing those two skills to the equation. He's got the medical skills. He speaks Spanish, and I'm working on my Spanish as well. I'd like to learn a bunch of languages, but
also in farming,
it just takes so much time. Yeah, farming. Like, that's a huge one. Absolutely.
So that's boom, big three right there.
Absolutely.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. And so, like, building yourself to have these skills that you can offer the world, increasing your value as a person, as a cog in the machine. You don't want to, you know, view yourself as just a cog in the machine all the time, because it's a very depressing way to look at life. But at the same time, if the machine fails without that cog, maybe you're a very valuable cog in the machine that needs to be brought up to a certain skill level, kind of thing. And so being able to offer a value that gives you a high place in the machine is useful. You don't want to just reduce yourself to a cog in the machine, but being able to play that role when necessary so that you can survive, so that you can, you know, meet your own goals, it's very important. And so, yeah, those are some pretty easy, not necessarily easy, but some pretty simple skills that you can learn to better yourself as a person, to increase your value so that you can offer more value. And then if the world does fall apart, you're not just going to be killed because you don't have anything to offer other than the clothes on your back and the ammo in your vault. So hopefully you can build yourself into someone that, like, you can negotiate and be like, hey, I'll join you guys. Just don't kill me, because I can offer these skills. And then,
but don't lie. Don't like a
that's
like
another
a resume type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, all right, bro, you're up, and then you're just standing there like, I'm gonna start a fire now.
Yeah, just rubbing his hands together, nothing else.
Yeah, that would be
bad. That would be bad. Don't lie about your skills. Just develop some skills that you can offer.
Oh yeah, I'm a medic. You just start poking shit you're not supposed to.
That'd be real bad.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's breathing.
But off the topic of if society collapses, because I don't think that's a super high probability, but it is a probability, and it's something that we want to be aware of and be prepared for in the event that it does happen. You guys should definitely look at to determine whether or not it's something you want to be aware of, and determine how aware of that you should be. look at the fall of other societies and what preceded those falls, like the Roman society,
That's a good one.
Babylonian society. A lot of our society here in America is based on Roman society, and we have a lot of things in common with Roman society that mirror things that were happening right before Rome fell. So these are things that you should be aware of. Look at the fall of great societies and figure out whether or not you think it's something that you should be concerned about.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
Because wasn't one of their issues like, or actually the issue was that they were so infested into their own like, lustful.
That
like,
was one big thing.
Self-admiring thing that they were in like the city, basically having a blast, having a party. And they're like, oh, when did these intruders come in that we didn't even notice? Well, you guys were so involved and so saturated with all this like drama and that's center of attention that you guys didn't even notice that you were being attacked. Or people were moving into your own town, taking over, And that
kind of relates all back to the ideological subversion that we talked about in episode 25 when we did the Yuri Bezmenov breakdown. That's demoralization, the ideological subversion, just destruction of a country from within by replacing their ideas that built them into the great country that they are, and replacing those ideas to slowly degrade the society, the culture, everything over a long period of time to make them ripe for destruction, we'll say.
I mean, like, I know I was joking about the zombie apocalypse, but we're basically already in it. Your phone is basically taking over your brain.
So many people are zombies.
Easily. And, I don't want to point fingers, I want to say also, like, myself, there's times when I catch myself, I'm like, bro, I need to get the hell off this thing because there goes 2 hours of my fucking day.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm cussing, but I'm kind of, like, frustrated at myself. Because it's like, there's times where I wake up like an hour or two early to go to the gym, and it's like 3, and I go to work at 7. So I was like, okay, I got some time to go to the gym, cook food, and then like prep for work and get there early. And then there I am. I wake up and I'm in the kitchen just kind of scrolling through TikTok, standing there for like another 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, dude.
Making the whole thing take longer.
What is going on? And I'm getting distracted watching these pointless videos, and I get it. It's hard to detach yourself from technology when you kind of grew up with it, especially the younger generations that literally grew up with it in school. Like this, they were integrated into it.
Yeah.
We're millennials. So like, it's kind of like you transitioned into technology. So you kind of know like the balance of like good and bad, but like the younger generations are just like, that's what they grew with. That's the norm. You know what I'm saying? So it's only worse, getting worse for like younger generations to the point where like, they're like toddler years and they're already like on the iPad. They're pros on the iPad. It's kind of funny. And when I go to the store or something, and I see these kids that they know how to use their iPad or phone more than the parents. It's crazy. Like these kids like know all this stuff. Like, they're recording, they're already doing TikToks on their own and stuff. I was like, what? It's for me, it's like, I was like, damn, this kid like can outschool me on any technology right now because I'm like a caveman. Like, I play PS5 here and there. I'm on my laptop here and there, but I'm pretty sure like if a kid grabbed my laptop and he's like started like showing me like, oh, you know you can do this shortcut, and I was like, what? All this time I was doing it like one by one, just copy and paste, and just because like, oh yeah, you can just send,
and it's all done.
It's amazing. I don't know, but it's just scary. Like a lot of things that are taking over the world and just changing, which is good. Change is good, but
change can be good.
At what level?
Yeah, change in itself is not necessarily always good, but change, it brings its own challenges and growth potential, and it can be good, and oftentimes it is. But I think we just need to look at the last 5, 10, 15 years and see that not all change is that great, because dating apps, these phones, technology, social media, huge changes, and it's really done a number on our society in a lot of negative ways. Yeah, you have a lot more opportunity to make money, but if that's if that's all you care about, well, for the love of money is the root of all evil. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. That's where things are not always great. That's where change is not always great. But that being said,
that verse to me, it's, I don't know what for you might enlighten your mind too, but for me, it's like you have more than what you you need, and you start using the more of what you need on things that aren't moral anymore.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's like you start either buying drugs or buying like, you're going to start going to a strip club. You start just wasting all your money. Like I think that's where it all starts, and then that goes into a bigger rabbit hole, and then you just keep going down that hole until you're the point where you don't even know if you're human anymore, or you just don't. Like I don't know. That's how I see it. Like I think it's just you become this. Like you have no more soul. You're just lost in the sauce.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of selling your soul is when you love money more than anything else, then you'll do anything for money. And oftentimes you can do some really depraved things to make some money. And, the more I learn about all the conspiracy theories that people talk about, whether it's human trafficking, whether it's, the cartels and drug dealing and all of these different things, it seems like the more immoral things that you do, the more money you can make. Like the worse things you can do, whether it's like organ trafficking, organ harvesting, and human trafficking and things of that nature. It seems like those are the things that make you the most money. And those are also the worst things that you could possibly ever do, in my opinion.
I think it's like human trafficking. That's just
and it sounds like, from what I've seen, whether it's the Epstein thing, and all the different people that are connected on that route, on that level, it seems like those are the things that make you the most money when it comes to illicit activities.
That's just wild. I just don't know how. It's crazy because don't they say like that list, or like that specific list that Epstein had has like a bunch of like elites.
Oh yeah,
celebrities,
politicians, all
of that stuff.
Absolutely.
I just thought that was insane.
J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, the bank itself, they like obfuscated and hid some of the records that they had as far as their deals with Epstein. So they were in league with the guy at least a little bit.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's connected. That's why like that they're pushing out.
Yeah, that's why the
aliens,
information isn't coming out. Exactly.
War, and they're pushing out the Trump thing. Like they're pushing a lot of things so like people can be distracted. And it's funny because it's so easy, man. It's like, they'll probably drop that list during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
And people like they might be putting that on live TV. No one will give a damn.
Yeah.
And they'll probably find out like a week or 2 or 3 weeks later. By the time that comes around, it's going to be like in and out of the social media realm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing with everything. That's one thing I do hate about social media is that, Palestine, and then like everyone has a Palestine flag, and then like 2 weeks later, everyone's like over it.
Yeah, that's another example of the fall of Rome thing. Is like right before the fall of Rome, they held lots of parties. They held a lot of circuses. There was a lot of the Colosseum was a huge cultural part of Rome when it came to the gladiator fights and all of that. And it was all just to keep people distracted as the country fell apart. And that's a lot of what's happening here is they're releasing the alien information when the Bidens have some stuff come out that doesn't paint them in a good light. They're releasing alien information on all kinds of different things. They knew that submarine blew up like a week before they told everyone else, and they just let it be a huge thing. All kinds of different
Taylor
ways.
Swift and whatever the fuck the other dude is.
Travis Kelce, I think is his name. I don't either. I just remember the name for some reason. But yeah, all of these different ways that they just infiltrate the collective consciousness with meaningless information. Like, what benefit does Taylor Swift's relationship have to your life? What benefit does the Kardashians TV show have to your life? Like, I would argue that it's mostly negative, that it's brain cancer. It's ideological cancer. Yeah, so I despise those shows and all of the celebrity media information and stuff like that. The only reason I follow some celebrity information, like Will Smith, for example, and Jada Pinkett Smith.
That guy's a lie too, bro. I'm just playing. They're all liars.
Oh, absolutely. But like the Will and Jada situation was just like kind of descriptive of where society's at. And that's one reason I followed that. Dave Chappelle stuff, again, is a lot more like explaining where society is. Like, for example, how when he first kind of disappeared off the radar. It was because they were offering him these deals, but he knew that he would have to sell out and not really follow his beliefs. And so he just was like, nah, I'm done with the industry. And people loved him enough and he was real enough that when he came back, he was able to just, grab that success right back. So it's little things like that I'm a fan of. I understand where the Kardashians came from, and that's another thing where it's like just keeping up with what society is doing and where we are as a society, because for the Kardashians to be so popular off of essentially selling sex, like selling the idea of sex, indoctrinating young women into getting BBLs and thinking that they have to have all this plastic surgery done to be worth anything, and it's just not true, because most men that I talk to, they want you to be natural. Most dudes that I talk to is like, be natural. If you want a bigger butt, go to the gym because it looks better anyways than a BBL. Trust me. It looks so much better.
Shit, I don't know about you. I'm joking. No.
I mean, if you like the look of a BBL, that's on you, and you and your girl can have that conversation. But for the most part, most men, I'd say 90% are like, yeah, natural or nothing.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't appreciate all that.
Yeah.
It's like what if I go and get some like chest implants or like calf implants, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Would girls like it? I don't know. I haven't asked them, to be fair. If like if I got chest implants,
Right.
Would that be more attractive or less attractive to women? I don't know. I don't really care either, because I'm going to go natural. I just think natural is the way to go all around. I'm not going to get chest implants to attract a woman.
Now, if you go bald.
Well, some girls like bald guys.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, would you try to like?
I mean, I like my hair. I don't want to go bald, but if I start going bald, then maybe I'll just go bald.
Damn. Okay. I don't know about that, man. I might have to.
I don't know. We'll see how my head is shaped if that happens.
Yeah. You don't want to be like.
I have hair, so I don't know exactly how my head is shaped.
You
now.
ever shaved your head?
I have had a buzz cut where I was like pretty close to bald, so just look at my pictures in high school and stuff and figure out if that's how I want to be.
I did it once, and God, I'm probably gonna go bald.
Anyways, yeah. So this next coming year, those are some of the things that we're gonna focus on, is just being prepared for whatever comes our way. The podcast, we're gonna be continuing to work on consistency more than anything. We're gonna be planning our episodes more, putting out better information. I think the quality of the audio and the video is decent, and so that's not really where I want to focus most of our energy. I want to focus more on the consistency of the posting schedule, making sure that we're more organized when it comes to what we talk about on the podcast, and trying to get some good guests on that can inform the people.
Yeah, because last year we set goals and we actually hit those goals. Actually, we went above and beyond those goals. Actually, we were like, we at least need like 3 or 4 guests. And we got what, 1, 2, 3? Yeah, we got like a good amount of guests.
A decent amount. Yeah, we had Amari and Adam.
And
who else? Pretty sure those are the only 2 guests we had.
Really?
I think so.
We had one more. I think we did.
Did we? I don't know. I can't remember honestly. But I think we can definitely get some guests on. We're gonna do some like Zoom, Discord calls. I have a few people in mind. Some people that are very busy, so it's hard to get them on, even though they're close friends, but they're super busy and they got a whole lot of things going on. So we'll get that all figured out. And last year I think we did a lot. We progressed a lot. I know I sure as hell did. I did a lot of studying and learning and going through some experiences that were maybe not necessarily fun at the time, but have learned a lot from those experiences. And this next year is just going to be application of knowledge. That's pretty much what this next year is going to be. I learned a lot, gained a lot of knowledge, gained a lot of wisdom, gained a lot of experience, and now I need to apply all of that into executing on some plans and executing well.
Oh, yeah. Likewise, I think I stepped out of my comfort zone a little bit. I think going to Europe really helped. I just kind of opened my eyes a little bit more of the world, you know. I feel like everyone should travel to a different country and kind of have the experience of meeting other people, socializing with other people, being in a country that you have no idea what's going on, don't know the language, and just kind of you know, making yourself a little bit more open to what the world has to offer in a good way. You know, I'm not saying open yourself to like things that aren't good for you, that aren't helpful for you. But I think that really opened my eyes. And like, I came back here home, and I'm like, I need to step up my game. I mean, these people that I met out there, I mean, they knew like 3, 4 other languages. They were studying business. They were like really like moving forward. And I was like, okay, I gotta really do something about living here. I mean, we have the opportunity to have all the technology in the world at our fingertips.
And we squander that
And
so much.
And I feel like we should really take advantage of that. I feel like everyone has potential to become something big, but we're just too, like we talked about, we're too
We live in
stuck in the loop.
decadence.
Yeah, we're too stuck in the loop of just scrolling TikTok, being lazy, being trapped to this 9 to 5. If you're in a 9 to 5, you know, being comfortable. You know, a lot of people, you know, go work 8 to 12 hours for a company, but don't even bother to work 4 to 6 hours for themselves.
So that idea, 100% agree. People will get up at 6 a.m. to go work for someone else, but can't do the same for themselves. But the idea of, you know, people in other countries having so much more to offer the world simply because they have less that they grow up with is kind of what you're implying a little bit.
Not necessarily less, but it's just like the competition that they put themselves in of having more than one country around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
Exactly.
I gotta be maybe 5 times better, 10 times better than this person. Because like, I mean, that's what I was told, that they need to be able to make themselves more desirable, because, you know, if they're really shooting for a really high position at a certain job or a certain position in some sort, they really need to be obviously more desirable, like knowing more languages, be able to socialize to every type of, you know, person or like personality, stuff like that.
They have to be a lot more personable to a wider range of people.
Exactly. Yeah. Like just desirable, you know? So it kind of makes me think like, oh man, like we really need to step up our game out here. You know what I'm saying?
And so on that idea is like, there was this experiment where this group of, I guess, environmentalists, they were trying to grow trees in a like a protected, like dome type environment. And every time the trees would get to a certain height, they would just fall over. And it turns out the reason the trees kept falling over is because they didn't grow in an environment with wind. The wind pushing against the branches, against the trunk, all of this, the stress of the wind being constantly present against the trees made it so that the trees grew stronger and they could actually stand under their own weight. Whereas in this secluded environment where there was no wind, because they didn't grow with that stress, the roots didn't have to grow stronger and deeper into the ground. The tree itself didn't have to be stronger. It would just fall over all the time. And so here in America, I think that we suffer from the same issue, is that we don't have enough real world problems while we're growing, so that by the time we get to adulthood, a lot of us just make up things to be mad about, or are just completely incapable of being useful to most situations.
It's kind of funny. Something I noticed in London specifically. My friend and I actually did the math. They get paid like almost the same, maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure. As far as I can remember, they get like the wage is almost the same as here, and like, you know, everyone out there super active. Like, we were in front of this park, and there's people like running, biking. Like, everyone like was either walking or biking. I was like, dude, that's
a lot more fat people in America.
That's wild, bro. I'm like, you don't see this in America. You don't see all these people like in bikes getting into work and traveling. Like, yeah, you see one or two, but like everyone out there had a bike. Everyone out there was walking. Everyone out there was getting together to play like a soccer game or something, frisbee or some stuff. I don't even know, like throwing bread to the freaking ducks or something. I don't even know. But
they were out enjoying life out in the world. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is what I would see in America when I was like 5 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would see a lot of more social, like more people walking outside, more
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, what happened to us?
I
Like,
think
what
a big
happened?
part of that is COVID. Like it was already on the decline, I think,
Mm,
before COVID, but COVID really like accelerated. Well, yeah, accelerated the decline.
true,
I think
true.
that's my opinion. I could do a little bit more research to figure out whether or not that's true.
And another thing I noticed too, like during the COVID time, is when people like before COVID happened, people would be like, "Oh, I just want to like die," or like, "I hate people," like stuff like that. And then COVID happened, and we got locked into our like homes for like days, weeks, months, and then people started complaining like, "Oh, like I hate being locked in, this and that." And I'm like, what happened to all those people that were like complaining about like life and
Mm-hmm.
hated people, and now all of a sudden like you want to do the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're just programmed to rebel against what people make us do or want us to do.
Yeah.
Same thing like I was telling you earlier about the dishes. Like let's say you're gonna wash the dishes, and then your mom tells you
Mm.
go wash the dishes, and then you get pissed and you don't want to do it because they told you to do it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. That's definitely a real thing. Like you want something and then you get it and you're like, this isn't what I wanted. Or you have something and then it's taken away and you're like, man, I wish I appreciated it while I had it. The
Mm.
two sides of the same coin, I think. And yeah, that's absolutely true. I think a lot of people didn't realize how good we had things here in America before COVID, and now it's just an entirely different world post COVID.
Definitely. 2016 for sure was the last great year.
Harambe, man. R.I.P. I don't know why it's such a meme that like the death of Harambe is what caused the decline of
It makes
society.
sense
But I mean, that's around the time that it all happened, and you know, that's when I really started noticing things falling apart. I mean, Trump also got elected that year, and everyone went crazy because Trump was elected. So like, just because I think it's really just Harambe because that's funny, but I think because of Trump's election, we got to really see just how politically divided the country is, as well as how nefarious the government itself can be, because the government really started to step in and, take power and enforce different things and act in certain ways that were not really what this country was built on. Like you really got to see like the mask was off, that the Democrats and the Republicans are both two sides of the same coin. They hate us all. They don't care about us. They just want to protect their power. Both Democrats and Republicans just want to protect their power, protect the power structure, and keep us enslaved to them and their goals so that they can stay in power and stay wealthy and keep living however they want to live while we just, exist under them, is kind of how it looks to me.
They're all generally in the same side, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Generally,
I
yeah.
feel like Biden just wants to hit the reset button, and then Trump wants to keep using us to keep creating wealth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It seems like, I don't know. I think
You know what I mean? Like it's
I don't
like,
know
oh,
what's going to happen, man. With
treat
this
them.
election, it's like the left is going to throw a fit if Trump gets elected, and the right is going to throw a fit if literally anyone gets elected, because Newsom is, I mean, he destroyed San Francisco and then he went to become a governor, and now all of California is destroyed. So who knows? It seems like it's going to be either Biden or Newsom, even though Newsom hasn't announced his desire to run for president. It seems like they're trying to push him towards running for president a little bit. Otherwise, like who's a candidate?
I don't even know, dude.
Exactly.
I don't even.
I haven't been following much recently, but this next year, this next election year is going to be wild. There's going to be a lot of BS, a lot of shenanigans, and that's one reason why I'm so adamant about the kind of prepper type ideas that we were talking about earlier.
I feel like no one should vote and see what bullshit they come up with.
I don't know. I really don't even know, man. I feel like we should vote, but at the same time, I also feel like it doesn't matter. But
No, think about it. What if like no one votes, and then like the media says like, oh, 3 minutes.
well, yeah, but then everyone would have to be on the same page and be
yeah.
communicating, hey, I didn't vote. Did you vote? And like, if everyone in America did that, that would be great, but that's never going to happen.
That's never gonna happen. Yeah. Unless we make it a big movement, then we'll probably get killed or something.
People are still going to vote. Because you can't get everyone in America on the same page.
They're idiots.
That's the problem. That's the main problem, is you can't get everyone in America on the same page.
You're all being
the only time it happened was after 9/11, and we were on the wrong page, but we were on the same page. Because we enacted the Patriot Act. We were like, we need to go to war with Iraq, Iran, all of that, because they did this to us. And it's like, yeah, but it was there was some shenanigans going on behind the scenes. Unfortunately. I mean, I was... 2 years old when that happened? 3 years old when that happened? I had no idea what was going on. I don't even remember it happening. But I
remember watching it. I was eating pancakes that morning.
Dang.
I remember that shit clearly.
Yeah, you're a little older than me, so.
Yeah, they canceled school, everything.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild. My dad was like holding his hair. He was like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, I can definitely imagine that would be a huge shock to the system. Make you feel very vulnerable in your own country. Like, this doesn't happen to us. You know?
Right. Like, how is it that the big brother, basically, of the world gets attacked, you know?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think we can leave it off there. I think
so.
You need to get some sleep before the new year because you worked last night, right?
Yeah.
And I need to get this episode edited and ready to upload, so hopefully it'll be up tomorrow. And, yeah, we can start off the new year right. 2024, here we come. And we're going to do some big things next year.
That's right.
Or society's going to fall apart, and we're going to, just survive.
I'll definitely start posting some more on the SumYungGuys page. I'm planning on getting like a camera stabilizer, taking like short little clips here and there, kind of show us like what we're kind of doing on the side on our own time to kind of just keep you guys updated. Kind of
absolutely. I post a lot on my Instagram, but I don't post much on the SumYungGuys Instagram or the Twitter. I did post one thing on Twitter recently that was pretty good. It was about like having an underlying feeling of rage and anger that motivates you, but it needs to be righteous rage and anger towards like how corrupt the world is, so that you can be motivated to fix those different corrupt ideas. But anyways, yeah, I think we're going to be doing a lot more next year, a lot more involved in the podcast, in the SumYungGuys brand, building it up. And
I believe, I definitely believe we should take like a little solid, I want to say break, but like a solid week or a day where we just kind of like not plan everything out, but
get a whole lot put together so that we can
get back on our saddle. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is how it's gonna go.
Absolutely, I agree.
But definitely, so we'll bring some better and bigger things this next year.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it's been fun. My name's Lemac.
I'm Carlos,
and this has been SumYungGuys, just trying to solve the world's problems in a podcast.
Thank you guys for joining us again.
Thank you. Peace.